Hey everyone, it's the Food Dude, and it's Father's Day, which means we got something special planned. Today's menu, garlic butter filet mignon with mushrooms. So the ingredients we have today are actually fairly simple. Meat, mushrooms, 2 sticks, garlic butter, and Kinder's Prime Steak Seasoning. So you want to go ahead and start unwrapping your steak. You want to get these out because we want to get these prepped about, I'd say, an hour before you're going to need them. And if you can, try to get the butcher shop to wrap them separately, because if they sit and touch each other for too long, you'll get spots on them that kind of turn brown and gray. You don't want that. Now what we want to do is we want to season this steak as good as we can. Again, I'm using the Kinder's Prime Steak Seasoning with black garlic and truffle. You know, I've tried a bunch of different seasonings. This is the one, that I've seen that I like the most. So you want to get a generous helping on there and just kind of rub it in. Make sure you get both sides here. So you want to make sure that that seasoning is everywhere you want it. Now we're also going to be using a garlic butter as well in the skillet to do these. So we're also going to get that little bit of extra flavor. But for now, you just want to get that seasoning in your steak. Fairly decent coverage. I mean, some people like a lot of seasoning. Some people like just mild seasoning. But I think that'll be enough because I'll be adding the garlic butter again. So I think that should be good. Now you want to let that rest for at least an hour. So I went ahead, got my cast iron nice and hot. I'm going to go ahead and start getting a stick of the Kerrygold garlic herb butter melted in there. That way I can go ahead and throw my sticks on. So now that I got the butter on, I want to make sure that I get this evenly coated on here, because when I put my steaks on, I'm going to be spooning that butter all over the steaks. And you want to keep this moving because this cast iron skillet's going to get hot. You don't want your butter to start burning on you, because then you're going to get that burnt taste in your steak and it ain't going to taste very good. Went ahead, threw the steaks on there, moving them around this butter a little bit. Went ahead and put a little bit of that melted butter stick on top. We're going to smooth that around on there a little bit. And then once all this butter gets melted, we can go ahead and start spooning some of this melted butter on these already cooked fillets. I mean, look at that. We're already getting pretty good looking color on those. So while we're waiting for these steaks to cook, we want to go ahead and start spooning some of that butter on there. Just right across the top, just like so. I'm not left-handed, so I want to apologize now if this looks half-assed. Now while you're browning, you're getting a good sear on both sides of your steak. Don't forget the sides. So we want to go ahead and flip these over on their sides. And again, we're going to continue to spoon that butter even on the sides. That way that flavor really gets a lot of contact with all sides of our steak. Alright, now that I got a good sear on those the whole way around, I'm going to go ahead and pop them in the oven. Set the oven to about 400 degrees. For a good medium, I need about 4 to 8 minutes on those. So I'm going to go ahead and pop those in and I'll show you when they're done. So for the mushrooms, we kind of want to start it the same way as the steak. We want to go ahead and get our garlic butter, grease up a pan, because we want them to have a really good taste when we go ahead and throw them in the skillet. Once we got all our butter melted, we're going to go ahead and take our baby portobello mushrooms, go ahead, throw them right in the mixture. So we want to make sure all these mushrooms get stirred in here, because we want them all to have a little bit. Go ahead and pull some of these ones that don't look that great out, but we want them all to get a good coating in that butter. That is going to help them get nice and soft for our steak. And then I'm also going to put a little bit of salt and pepper on this, because everything needs to be seasoned. All right, our steaks just came out and they look good. That butter It's giving them a nice color on there. They're cooked the whole way around. Got a nice glaze. They're still got some give to them, so that should be a perfect medium on those. And then we're getting our mushrooms just about done. So we'll put those on top. And then I'll show you everything when it gets plated. And there we have it. Our filet mignon with mushrooms, mashed potatoes, homemade piece of bread, side salad. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is a meal fit for a dad. This has been Matt, the Food Dude. Again, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. And remember, stay hungry.